Lloyd, the CEO of Minexia, is joining us now, as well as Christian Taylor-Wilkinson from Altona Energy. Hello to you both.
Morning.
Morning, Katie.
So first of all, maybe Richard, to you, can you explain this partnership?
Yeah, absolutely. As I've alluded to on other interviews with Proactive, we are closing the gap between the sophisticated and high net worth investors that have perhaps been forgotten about by brokers, and the smaller sort of exploration and project development companies such as Altona Energy that are looking to advance their projects at an earlier stage of funding, where 1-2 million perhaps is the target area. Altona's a little lower than that, and it's an ideal platform to, people have called it sophisticated crowdfunding, to assist companies like that as they grow and evolve and eventually do grown-up financing on the main boards and with PE funds.
Excellent. Christian, over to you then. So what is the company currently working on? Tell us about it.
Sure. We're looking at acquiring 3 rare earth mining projects in Africa. We're sort of 3/4 of the way through on 2 of the acquisitions, signed heads of agreement. And the third one, which we haven't announced yet, we're still in negotiations. So this is a total switch for the strategy for Altona. Altona for 15 years was listed on AIM, and it had coal assets in Australia, which they didn't get to fruition with. And I came on the board in the beginning of January 2019, and we've been looking for a new strategy, and rare earth seems to be very, very popular, very, very much in demand, the metals that they produce. And we were lucky enough to find the right projects in Africa which to pursue.
So you said it's in demand, it's popular. Tell us a bit more about rare earth, the mining sector. Why is it?
Sure. So rare earths are used, there's 17 of the elements. They're at the bottom of the periodic table. They've been around for a very long time. The pertinent facts are China has dominated the market for the last 10 or 15 years. It probably produces 95%. And this year has been really well documented in the press. America, Europe, Australia, we're all trying to find different sources to stop the reliance upon the Chinese companies that are producing it. Trade wars potentially between America and China, etc. So they're looking for alternative sources. The governments around the world are starting quite large initiatives. The EU's just started something. Mr. Johnson announced on the 6th of October that every UK home is going to be powered by electricity from wind farms. Now, the wind farm turbine has about 24, I think, kilos of rare earth elements, or certain elements inside it. 24 kilos is a large sum. So these have to come from somewhere. And Africa has emerged in recent years as quite a contender. It's some companies have good, stable governments. There's a lot of infrastructure. Mining is obviously very popular in Africa over the years. So a lot of the people, personnel, roads, railways are all there. And it seems that if this sector, electric vehicles, etc., that use the batteries, then this isn't going away. And if Altona can supply just a little part of the demand that's going to be needed over the next 20, 30 years, then fantastic. We're a small company. We have a long way to go, but at the same time, I think we can get there. I think the projects we have are the right ones. We're very, very lucky, as I said, to get our hands on them.
Well, let's talk about these projects, because clearly there's the opportunity out there, plenty of market, plenty of demand. But let's talk about your strategy, how you're planning to implement it, and your funds and the business model itself.
Okay, so the next 6 months we sort of mapped it out. What we expect is to complete the full agreements for these 2 main acquisitions we're making. One's in Malawi. It's a project that has already had exploration done on it. About $4 or $5 million has been spent on it by the previous owners. We have a joint venture business partner in Malawi who was lucky enough to get his application in for the license when it came up for renewal, which we hope is going to be granted in the next few days. That's the word we were told last week. And very quickly, it's a little bit technical, but this is interesting because the rare earths are sitting in what's known as ionic clay. So it's an ionic clay deposit. It's basically soil. So if you think that if it was like some elements are in hard rock, to get to the rock, you have to drill, blast. Then when you recover, you have to crush, mill, and do all the processes to get to access the materials. But this is in soil or clay, so you basically dig it up and then you push it through a chemical solution. So to simplify it, it's a lot less expensive and also possibly cheaper, quicker to access the minerals that you're after. So instead of sort of maybe taking 10 years and 100 million pounds to get to production, this particular mine, we could be there for under maybe 10 million pounds in 2 to 3 years. That's the estimate of our geologist and the joint venture partner in Malawi. Then we have a greenfield site, which is in Uganda, and that is based right next door to a very successful rare earth project owned by a company listed on the ASX in Australia. And the reason why we bought it is because our geologist has seen the line of minerals is going from west to east, and we've just bought the next tenement along in that line. So we don't know what we're going to get there, but maybe for a small amount of money, we can determine whether it's worth pursuing or not. And then the final one is in Kenya. Oops, sorry. The final one is in Kenya, which we haven't announced yet. I think I'm allowed to say that. And again, that's had a few $1 million spent on it. Very exciting. That's actually the one that excites our geologists and our metallurgists the most. And hopefully we'll be able to sign a contract in the next few weeks on that and move forward.
Excellent. So to summarise then, Christian, for potential investors out there, if they're not already on board with this, why should they be?
So I don't know if I'm allowed to again say this, but we're doing a fundraise at the moment using Rich's platform, the NR private market platform. We're looking to raise just a small amount of money, about £500,000, just to kickstart the exploration on the 3 sites. And the current share price, we're on Aquis stock market, and the shares are suspended at the moment until we raise funds. And the share price is suspended at 9.5p, and we're doing this fundraise at 6.5p, which is a 32% discount. And we're also offering warrants for the shares. So every 2 shares you buy, you get 1 warrant at 12p. So from a pure investment point of view, you would hope that there's going to be some upside on any shares that you buy. And then further on that, obviously, we discussed the demand in the sector. If we can get one of these projects to production, we could start making money, which I think for a mining company for a small mining company is quite a rare occurrence. And I think also that the projects we've chosen, the fact that 2 of them are ionic clay, it means that we could get them into production quickly. So I think there are a number of rare earth companies listed on the stock market, maybe 4 or 5. We are new, we are small, we're enthusiastic, and currently the share price is cheap. So I think from an investment point of view, it's a good opportunity.
A good opportunity. Richard, what do you make of that?
Yeah, that's why we're backing Altona. We are a team of, for our sins, mining geologists, engineers, metallurgists ourselves, and happen to fall into the murky world of investment banking for a few years. And we've come out the other side and put in our private market together. So we assess and vet the deals that we see. And as you can probably imagine, we see a lot of moose pasture. It's the phrase in the industry for nothing less than sort of field of grass. But this, because the ionic clay, it's going to be quick to production. The physical costs are going to be cheap. It's a very similar chemistry set at the back end, as Christian was alluding to. But they've got good metallurgists. They've got an excellent in-country geologist in Kenya, and that, in the current environment, is absolutely crucial to getting access to these projects and assessing them. So that's why we backed it. We're not recommending anything, but we do assess our deals, and only the better ones get through the net and onto the platform.
Excellent. Richard Lloyd, thank you very much indeed. CEO of Minexia, and of course, Christian Taylor-Wilkinson as well from Altona Energy today.
Thank you, Katie.